So Gilbert syndrome is something that people often are diagnosed with. I want to talk about that, talk about the genes that go along with it. This is going to be a really quick video, and talk about high bilirubin levels. So people can have high bilirubin levels with or without Gilbert syndrome. Sometimes doctors just say, oh, you've got Gilbert syndrome, and they're not genetically testing. I'm going to go over how to find out on your own if you have Gilbert syndrome. But more often than not, we see the high bilirubin without the genetic component. And that's because they've done something to really injure one of their phase 2 detoxification pathways called glucuronidation. So there are 3 phases of detoxification. Phase 1 works on CYP enzymes. Phase 2, there are 7 subphases, one of which is called glucuronidation. And it works by this enzyme, which I will show you. So this is actually a report called Nutrigenomics made by True Report. And you get this report by running your ancestry test. So just the basic ancestry, it's like anywhere from $50 to $100, whether they're having a sale or not. And you stick it in this reader and you just upload it. It's like $30 and you get this report. Now, I personally normally don't send reports to my clients because it can cause a lot of anxiety when you read the entire report. When I'm looking at this report, I'm looking at certain genes, certain mutations that we can affect with supplements. If we can't affect it with supplements and it's just giving you some chance of getting a disease, I don't look at it because it just creates anxiety. And a lot of people, when they do read the reports, like, oh my gosh, it says I'm going to have cancer, it says I'm going to have all of these autoimmune conditions. We have to remember epigenetics. Just because you have a mutation doesn't mean it's active. Now, like we see right here, this person is what's called heterozygous. So they have one mutation on all of these UGT enzymes. It doesn't mean they have Gilbert syndrome. Likely they don't. Usually we have to see plus plus, so red like this, all the way down for it to actually be Gilbert syndrome. And even still, you'll have plus plus all the way down, and sometimes bilirubin levels are normal. So when I do up a lab, I will say UGT plus plus, and either active or inactive based on their bilirubin levels. So this pathway called glucuronidation, it is injured by Accutane. And it's injured by other things, but Accutane really damages it. So a lot of people who are put on Accutane for acne end up with high bilirubin levels due to damage to glucuronidation. And we normally see these people with these UGT mutations. It just means that their enzyme, so when we're seeing one mutation, it doesn't mean it's not working. Even when we see 2 mutations, it doesn't work. And we'll backtrack. I'll explain the genetics a little bit. So you are going to get one allele from your parents, one from your mom, and one from your dad. So this person got a plus from, maybe the dad and a minus from the mother. So when we see these mutations, it indicates that either the enzyme is going to be working faster or slower, depending on what we're looking at. So for this particular one mutation means that the UGT enzyme, which is in glucuronidation, is working about 30% slower. 2 mutations mean it's working about 60% slower. So it's still working, it's just not working as quickly as it should. So if somebody is UGT++, and that could be active, and then they go ahead and take Accutane, they're more likely to damage this pathway. But a lot of people take Accutane for a long time, and they significantly damage this pathway without any mutations here. So how do we repair glucuronidation? Well, one of the best supplements that we can use is something called D-limonene. And that helps make this enzyme work faster. That's all it's doing. It's helping to make this enzyme work faster, so it's going to break down the bilirubin better. Now, in general, people with Gilbert syndrome normally don't have any symptoms besides they could have some yellowing in their eyes. A lot of people don't know until they go and run a complete metabolic panel and they see their bilirubin is elevated. We have 7 subphases of phase 2. So when one pathway is not working well, the other pathways pick up the slack. So not only do we want to support this enzyme if you have Gilbert syndrome or if you have high bilirubin levels, you want to support that with D-limonene. You want to support all of the other pathways. right? That's what's key. So they're going to be picking up the slack. You want to support them. You want to be supporting phase 1. You want to be supporting all of phase 2, and you also want to support phase 3. So phase 3 is how the body gets the toxins out. So that's going to either be through your bile and then through the stool, through your kidneys, or through your skin. Now, the skin only picks up slack when everything else is not working well. So a really big focus on bile flow. We actually look at kidney function with the EGFR on a complete metabolic panel. And if you're seeing that your levels are below 90, then you do need some kidney support also. So just a quick video on that. You can run this yourself, get that ancestry test, run it through Nutrigenomics, and you can see if you have multiple mutations here. As always, anything on this channel is for educational purposes only. It's not meant to diagnose, and always talk to your doctor before making any changes to anything that you're doing. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe. You can even post in the comments some video suggestions that you would like me to do. I have a huge list that I'm working my way down. So if you have any that you would like to see, just put them down below in the comments.